I am Danette Fadness. I'm the Be Smart Montana lead for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense. And Be Smart is a program for child access prevention. So I talk to families about the importance of securing their guns in their home, their garages, and their vehicles, and asking before you take your kids to someone else's house if they have guns, and if so, if they're secured, and how. And then also just recognizing that an unsecured gun in your home is a risk for youth suicide.
Sure. Let's talk about the reason all these folks are downstairs here at Paxton School. So obviously today is a sad day. It's something terrible happened 5 years ago.
Correct, yes. So today is the anniversary of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, where we lost 20 children and 6 teachers and administrators. Mm-hmm. So we're here today to honor those people that we lost to gun violence, but then also the other people that we continue to lose each year as we go on. So downstairs there's a Christmas tree, and there's ornaments for several of the mass shootings that have taken place in the United States over the last 5 years. And also there'll be individual ones, Shrinky Dink ones for the Sandy Hook kids. So people will be asked to take those home with them and have them as to honor them at home on their trees. Sure. Or just in their homes. And we'll have some other speakers. We have John Moffitt, who is a survivor of a school shooting in Lewistown in the 80s. And he'll talk. I'm going to speak for a little while on domestic violence because 51% of mass shootings are actually related to domestic violence. So some talk on that. And we do have Michelle Cole, who is a survivor from the Las Vegas shooting. And she's a trauma nurse at St. Pat's. Okay.
So what do you want to accomplish with an evening like this? What do you want people to take away from this?
Well, to begin with, we want to honor those that we have lost and those who are dealing with loss. But then we want to just say, we're not going to be quiet anymore. Enough is enough, and something needs to be done. Congress needs to do something to pass laws to help keep our people safe. We find that in states that have background checks for all gun sales, domestic violence and women dying from intimate partners is reduced by 47%. So there are things that we can do, and we're just asking that people think about that.
My name is Michelle Cole. I'm the trauma program manager at St. Patrick Hospital, and I was in Vegas during the shooting. My husband and I and my son, and my son's in a wheelchair, and he was in a car crash 5 years ago, and he's a T12 para, and we were with a group of friends at the concert, and I won't go into all the details of the actual night, but I have taken an active shooter class with St. Pat's, which really benefited me in this situation, to recognize early on what was going on. And so my husband and I and another friend had got out. Her husband stayed in. He is a U.S. Marshal, and so he stayed in there. And once we got my son safe, my husband and I, who's also a nurse at St. Pat's, went back and we triaged patients and worked with the ambulance and a local. They had actually just made a little triage area right outside the gates where the patients were coming out, so we took care of them. And
now, was this while the shooting was still going on?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Were you in danger in the line of fire while you were doing this?
Not while we were triaging, because we had actually came out of the venue. So no. Okay. But the fire lasted 10 minutes. So by the time we got through the whole venue with our son in the wheelchair, took care of our first patient, and then went back to the Tropicana, which was the back of the parking lot of the venue, then we were taking care of patients there. So the firing was done, but at that time we didn't know for sure because they kept coming around saying there was a second shooter, and there was bomb threats in other hotels, and they were chasing people out of hotels, and so there was a lot of confusion. So you don't know if you're safe, truly. Nobody knew until the next morning.
So what are you sharing with folks here when you speak tonight? What will you be sharing with them?
I think the biggest thing is just, unfortunately, that this is an event that's happening too often. A couple of things that we're doing as a hospital is to make people aware, and one of the big campaigns that the American College of Surgeons is requesting for the trauma because I am a trauma program manager at St. Patrick Hospital, requesting for us to do is actually teach Stop the Bleed, teach people how to place tourniquets, teach people how to stop bleeding, because like this situation, people can't get in. The EMTs can't get in, so it's the civilians that are taking care of each other. So we want to educate the civilians to how to apply tourniquets and hopefully get Stop the Bleed kits in schools and in public places so that they have the tools to be able to help a fellow citizen if that was to happen.
So have these classes started yet, and where can one find one?
Yes, they've started. We are working with the head, Brad Giffen from the university. He is the head of the police there, and we also have another police officer that is Mark Putty, and he does the St. Pat's. And I believe they also offer it in the community at the adult ed. There is a active shooter class and a defense class, and so we have already trained them, and the Boy Scouts have already done a training. 4-H has done a training. We will be doing hopefully implementing it into all of when somebody has to take a class for gun safety and for getting their hunting license, that we will have that's the goal, is to have everybody have to be required to take that. We've been offering it at the schools, and the fire departments will be able to be offering it. So they'll have a class once a month along with their CPR class. They'll be able to offer the Stop the Bleed to the public.